Fall is here, which means vacation days are over, and my to-do lists are so much longer. Thankfully, Caraway's nonstick kitchenware makes cooking a breeze and cleanup easier than ever. It's back to school made easy. And with so many collections of their internet famous kitchenware to explore, there's a Caraway for every kind of cook. My favorite part, Caraway's non-toxic chemical-free ceramic coating means food can be prepared with peace of mind that no hard-to-pronounce chemicals will leach into your healthy ingredients. And every set comes in various modern shades to fit with any design aesthetic and includes easy access storage solutions to keep the kitchen tidy. It's perfect for someone like me that likes everything to match but also doesn't have a lot of space. And now, introducing Caraway's Prep Set. 10 essential knives and utensils designed for chopping better, prepping cleaner, and storing easier. You know how I am about my storage. I love my Caraway cookware, and I'm not alone. Over 50,000 people have raved about their Caraway kitchen. Now, it's time to try it for yourself. Visit carawayhome.com/respectable to take advantage of this limited time offer for 10% off your next purchase. This deal is exclusive for our listeners, so visit carawayhome.com/respectable or use code respectable at checkout. Caraway, non-toxic cookware made modern. Summer is the worst time to suffer with an uncomfortable bra. Thankfully, Honey Love has revolutionized the bra game. Upgrade from traditional bras that use uncomfortable underwire and bulky fabrics that trap heat. Honey Love's bras feature supportive bonding that eliminates the need for underwire and without sacrificing lift. Treat yourself to the best shapewear on the market and save 20% off at honeylove.com/ratchet. Use our exclusive link to get 20% off. honeylove.com/ratchet. Cinched, snatched, and lifted. It's hot girl season thanks to Honey Love. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and those who don't identify as either, you are listening to Ratchet and Respectable from Indonesia. I hopped on a plane on Sunday and came to Bali. It took me forever to get here. It wasn't so bad though. It was 7 hours from Paris to Dubai, and then it was 10 hours from Dubai to Bali. I was in business class, so I got to lay down, which makes a huge difference. Because when I got here, it was really important to stay awake so I could adjust to the time zone. And I think I did good. Woke up this morning at, 7 o'clock. So I feel reset. It's early for quote unquote vacation, but actually kind of late for me. Because I told y'all, sometimes I wake up at 4:30, 5:30, and that's when my day gets started. I can't go back to sleep. That's just regular. So 7 o'clock is actually sleeping in for me. It's 12 hours ahead of East Coast here, so I feel like I'm living in the future. I woke up this morning and I was like, what day is it? And I was like, okay, it's Tuesday. I'm waking up. People in LA were just getting off work. It was 5 o'clock. Like I said, living in the future. But Bali is a vibe. I love this place. Love, love, love. I'm surprised it took me 5 years to get back here. Got this cute little villa. I think last time I was here, I described Bali as living in the anthropology store. Actually, it's more like the anthropology store comes to Bali and buys all its shit and then sells it for 10 times or more. I remember I got this bag because I was coming to Bali. I got this straw bag from the anthropology store. And thank God, this girl that I used to go to college with was the manager at the store. So she gave me her employee discount. I want to say the bag was $130 or something. Cute straw bag. Cute, cute, cute bag. And I want to say I got it for $35 with her discount. So I'm coming to Bali with my fancy bag. I'm feeling real, real cute. You know how you go to one of the little tourist markets to get your knickknacks and souvenirs and whatnot? My bag was on sale at every single market for the equivalent of $5 USD. They were selling that bag for $130 in America. And I was like, are you fucking kidding me? But yes, I'm in Bali and I'm here for, 2 weeks? Oh my God, there's a monkey climbing a tree. Okay, so this villa, the living room has one wall. That's where I'm sitting taping the podcast. The living room leads out into a garden. There's a garden on one side, there's a pool on the other, and there's the kitchen, which is also open on the other side. So I'm looking at all this like lush vegetation, and then there is a whole bunch of trees, and there's a monkey in the tree. And now I'm like, did I put all the food away? I know it's open. I know I am technically in the monkey's land, but at the same time, I don't want the monkey in the space that I'm occupying on the monkey's land. None of this is the point. You want to know what the point is? The point is, I thought the big story today would be Steve Harvey and Shirley Strawberry. Because that situation, especially Shirley Strawberry shit, is a whole damn mess. I have questions. I have thoughts. And then I thought Steve's response, Steve's commentary on Marjorie. Like, I have commentary on his commentary. I have so many thoughts. But that's not the craziest thing that happened this week. This shit with the coach from Michigan, Mel Tucker, and the $95 million hand job, sir. We'll get to that. Before we get to that, we have good black news this week. Robin Roberts got married. I thought Robin Roberts had been married forever and a day, but apparently she's been with her wife, her now wife, Amber. They've been together 18 years. I saw news of the celebration. My friend DeMarco Morgan, he's one of the anchors on GMA3. I've known this man for like 20 some odd years now. I love him hard body. He's such a great dude. But he was at the wedding and he posted some pictures. She and her wife both wore white gowns, not matching gowns, but both white gowns. I also saw pictures on Gayle King's page. She was at the wedding too. They spent money, which they should, because Robin for sure has some. I don't know about Mrs. Amber, but it looked like good money, and good money well spent. It was held in Connecticut. I'm reading these details on People. They have an interview with the wedding planner. They got married in Farmington, Connecticut. Around 250 guests. That's a good number. But after 18 years, you better go big. The pictures are very beautiful. Again, People has exclusive details and photos if you haven't seen them. It's really good. You've got to see these pictures. There's like some moss hanging from the ceiling. The floral arrangements are lovely. They spend good money on these flowers. This is at least like a good 30, 40, maybe 50,000 in flowers alone. Flowers will eat up your budget faster than anything else. The venue and the flowers. Very, very beautiful. I'm still scrolling through pictures. Spike and Tanya were there. I'm trying to see who else we could catch in these pictures. Michael Strahan, obviously, because he's a co-anchor with Robin. Robin is 62? I had no idea. Black don't crack. Her wife is 48. She got a young girl. Well, the brides look beautiful. Well, congratulations to them. Robin and wife Amber are smiling with all of their teeth. I believe I see molars. That's always a good sign. I wish a lifetime of happiness to the beautiful brides. Good for them. Congratulations are also in order for Coco, also known as Black Barbie. She won her very first Grand Slam title. She is the 2023 U.S. Open champion, and she's only 19, which I was like, what? Apparently, she got a huge payday off of this. $3 million for her U.S. Open win. Good Lord. People were asking her, they said, how you going to spend the money? You going to pay off some debt? And she was like, what debt? I'm 19. I still live at home with my parents. Like, what? And I was like, she's 19? 19? Niece Coco is a baby. The good thing about Coco being 19 is that we have 20 more years? Easy of professional Coco. I'm so happy for her. My father is a huge tennis fan. He used to play tennis when I was a kid. I have vivid memories of going to the park and my dad and his friend playing tennis and me on the playground. Like, it was right there. And I was usually just by myself. My dad was really big on tennis. I mean, it was the 80s. Everybody played tennis. My dad loved the Williams sisters. Loved. I think he had favoritism for Serena, which a lot of people did. He's not alone in that. But Serena has since retired. He needed a new black girl to root for. Coco has been his girl for a while. But he hit me excited about Coco's match and was like, are you watching? And I was like, I'm not really into tennis like that. I root for everybody black. That's not true. I root for most black people. I don't root for everybody. I root for most black people. But I was like, yeah, of course I'm rooting for Coco. But I didn't actually watch it or anything. But I'm happy she won. I saw a video of her mom in the stands after she won. Her mama lost her mind. I love watching the parent reactions. There was another parent reaction that's been circulating. I don't know the young woman's name. She's a gymnast, black girl. But it was her parents, mom and dad, sitting in the stands. Every time the girl leapt from one bar to another, the mother was cringing. She was sliding down in the seat. She was up in the seat. And the dad was just sitting there like real stoic, like trying not to have a reaction. And I was like, sir, you're losing it too. You just don't physically express it. You're losing it too. Because when she finally landed and she hit the landing, the parents went crazy. And I was like, I love it. But congratulations to Black Barbie, a.k.a. Coco. I love her. Love her. What else did we have in good Black news? Hip Hop 50 at the White House. That was an interesting affair. I know a few people that attended. It looked like a good time-ish. I saw the first videos of it. Someone had recorded Madam Vice President dancing. She had on this like boxy pink suit. She always wears a boxy suit. She's in a difficult position because she's a shapely woman. She has hips and tail feather. And if she actually wore suits tailored to her body, all the conversation would be about her shape and her looks. And I think she would be discredited even further for being too pretty or too attractive or too shapely. It's a very narrow line that women who are attractive and want to be taken seriously, it's almost like you have to be attractive enough that people actually want to look at you and deal with you, but you can't be too attractive where people think like, oh, she's pretty, so she must be an airhead, or oh, she's shapely, she's trying to show off her body. It's a really weird line to walk. That said, she's got on this pink suit and she has on this like brightly colored blouse that's giving real like funkadelic vibes, giving me very much like 1970s. Like I'm surprised she didn't have on bell bottoms. And then she's like dancing. I can't remember what song it was, but she's dancing to hip hop, but she's like trying not to get too loose and be too free. So she's like dancing a little bit and it's almost like she catches herself. And then so she just kind of like pumps her hand in the air, real 90s style. Like it was just so awkward. She's probably not that awkward with it. If hip hop is turning 50 this year, she grew up on hip hop. People were like, oh, she's trying too hard. Like, no, Kamala Harris is officially like smack dab in the age range to have grown up and be majorly influenced by hip hop. But watching her try to dance to it, and I was like, ma'am, there's no way. You went to Howard in the 80s. Like, there's no way you're this stiff. It's impossible. It's impossible. I feel bad for her sometimes because she's got to be corporate. She's got to be political. And again, she's got to like look nice. She's got to be attractive, but not too attractive, not too shapely. She's just always got to be conscious of every little thing that she does. And no matter what she does, she's going to be criticized. It's a no-win. But she celebrated Hip Hop 50 and she invited a bunch of people to her house, not the White House. And there was a lot of people there, some unexpected people. And I was like, did y'all play the edited version? Or y'all just went ahead and like, you know, did the song straight out? Ain't no way some of these people performed the actual lyrics. Like Too Short was there. And I was like, Too Short? His favorite word is bitch. Like, how he get invited? He is a force in hip hop. But I was like, sir, your favorite word doesn't really align with the political correctness required for such an event. I'm reading this on Variety. Let me go to Vibe. Vibe would have the full list of people that were there. Lil Wayne was there. Common was there. Slick Rick. And I was like, Slick Rick? I almost got suspended in 7th grade for having a Slick Rick tape in my Walkman. And now this mofo is performing at the vice president's house. Who else was there? D Nice, as expected. Dougie Fresh, as expected. MC Light was there. Roxanne Shante. And it just says, and more. I wanted like the full list. Jeezy. Did I say Jeezy was there? Because Jeezy shocked me. I was like, the snowman? At the vice president's house? Indeed. Good lineup. Whoever did the booking did a good job. Madam Vice President told the crowd, hip-hop culture is America's culture. This show is sponsored by BetterHelp. Am I the only one when I try to go to sleep, I have all these racing thoughts that keep me up? It's like when I'm trying to go to sleep, my brain won't stop talking. As it turns out, one great way to make those racing thoughts go away is to talk them through. Therapy gives you a place to do that, so you can get out of your negative thought cycles and find some mental and emotional peace. As you know, I am a huge advocate for therapy. I think everyone should have some, even the people that don't think they need it. It's good for you. With therapy, you can learn positive coping skills and how to set boundaries, or it can empower you to be the best version of yourself. Therapy isn't just for people who've experienced trauma. If you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. Just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist and switch therapists anytime for no additional charge. I love how easy BetterHelp makes it to receive professional help. Get a break from your thoughts with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/ratchet today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/ratchet. Summer is the worst time to suffer with an uncomfortable bra. Thankfully, Honey Love has revolutionized the bra game. Upgrade from traditional bras that use uncomfortable underwire and bulky fabrics that trap heat. Honey Love's bras feature supportive bonding that eliminates the need for underwire and without sacrificing lift. Plus, they're made with fabric that's so soft it feels like a second skin. You'll immediately feel and see the difference. It's so next level comfortable, you'll forget you're wearing it. I have horror stories with my undergarments. One, the underwire poked me so bad that I have a permanent scar from it. But I'll never have to worry about that with Honey Love. Honey Love's bestseller crossover bra is so comfortable, it's sure to be your new go-to. This bra gives all the support of traditional bras without using underwire. Plus, mesh detailing adds a touch of sexy. This is the one bra you'll actually enjoy wearing. And if you're tired of bras that cause bulging in the back, Honey Love's bras are designed with back smoothing fabric to prevent bra bulge. For the more relaxed lounge bra, I recommend their V-bra. It offers the support of a traditional bra, again, without the uncomfortable underwire. It's designed to lift and separate with molded cups, and it's not a shelf-like bra that creates a uni-boob effect. Whatever kind of bra you're looking for, Honey Love has you covered for an everyday look, workouts, weddings, and more. Treat yourself to the best shapewear on the market and save 20% off at honeylove.com/ratchet. Use our exclusive link to get 20% off. honeylove.com/ratchet. Cinched, snatched, and lifted. It's hot girl season thanks to Honey Love. You know, when I was in LA and I was taking screenwriting classes, I was shocked by how much I already knew because I had taken master classes with Aaron Sorkin and Shonda Rhimes. I'm not saying I could have skipped intro to writing, but masterclass definitely made the learning curve much easier. With masterclass, you can learn from the best to become your best, anytime, anywhere, and at your own pace. Annual memberships start at $10 a month, and you can get unlimited access to every instructor, thousands of online lessons, exclusive content, insights, and much more. There are over 180 classes to pick from, everything from business innovation with Rosalind Brewer to styling your own hair for any occasion with Jen Atkin, with new classes added every month. The classes with Shonda Rhimes and Aaron Sorkin taught me the basics of how to develop a good story and really interesting characters. It was definitely a huge benefit when I finally landed in a writer's room. With Masterclass, you can learn all sorts of things, from practical takeaways that you can apply to your life. For instance, if you run a business, you can use Masterclass to help your team. Whether you want to become a better chef or advance your career or land a book deal or anything else, Masterclass has you covered. You can also gain new skills in as little as 10 minutes, either on your phone, computer, tablet, smart TV, and my preferred, audio mode to listen on the go. I love listening to Masterclass when I'm on one of those long train rides trying to get from city to city. How much would it cost to take one-on-one classes from the world's best? Well, with a Masterclass annual membership, it would only cost you $10 a month. Get unlimited access to every class, and right now, as a Ratchet and Respectable listener, you can get 15% off when you go to masterclass.com/ratchet. That's masterclass.com/ratchet for 15% off an annual membership. Masterclass.com/ratchet. Invest in your health and have your best fall yet with Sakara's plant-rich, ready-to-eat meals. Their flexible nutrition programs are backed by 10 years of science and designed to help you optimize your health nutrient by nutrient and bite by bite. Enjoy seasonal dishes like the new Root to Rise barbecue flatbread or client-loved classic cacao chip and almond waffles. Help support your digestive health, enhance your metabolic efficiency, and nourish radiant skin without feeling like you're on a diet. Each of Sakara's 200 plus meals are chef-crafted and impeccably resourced. Order a week of anywhere from 2 to 15 meals. You'll taste and feel the difference nourishing what Sakara makes. And if you're not sure where to start, Sakara offers an all-new science-backed quiz that helps you discover which of their plant-rich nutrition programs and wellness products are right for you. In less than 5 minutes, the easy quiz takes the guesswork out of reaching your wellness goals. Now's the time to look and feel the way you've always wanted. Just go to sakara.com/pages/sakara-quiz. I've taken the quiz. It's very easy and actually kind of fun. Are you ready to try Sakara? That's Sakara, sakara.com/ratchet for 20% off your first order. Sakara.com/ratchet. Now we're about to get to the bullshit. We talked a couple episodes ago. I was excited. September 4th, Beyonce's birthday. Diana Ross surprised her for her birthday show. I was excited when I saw it. I felt good about it. We talked about it on here. Like, I got a little emotional. It was like the passing of a torch from one icon to another. Many people were very happy about Diana Ross appearing on stage. Lionel Richie was not one of them. Lionel Richie did a duet with Diana Ross, Endless Love. It was a hit single. I'm reading this on Yahoo. The only time they performed their ballad together was at the Oscars in 1982. Lionel Richie had a recent concert. He got on stage. He told the people how he felt about seeing Diana Ross at the Beyonce concert. He said, quote, 37 years. I have tried to call Miss Ross on the phone. Full disclosure. It was clear to me when I said she has told me no for 37 years. What did you think she was going to do? Show up tonight? The woman ain't coming. She's over there singing happy birthday to Beyonce. Pissed me off. In the video, Yahoo said concert goers could be heard laughing. They said Lionel Richie was joking. When black people tell a story and they be like, pissed me off. He's not joking. He's not joking. Even if there's some laughter involved, he feel away. He been trying to get this duet going for 37 years. I was like, sir, after year 2, you didn't take the hint? No, you didn't realize it was never going to happen again. It was a moment for the Oscars. You did something to this lady. You might not have intended to. It may have been a slight that you didn't even perceive as such. You don't know. Somehow she's offended. She don't want to perform with you, bruh. Maybe it was a song she never wanted to do. She just don't like it. For whatever reason, she doesn't. Apparently, this isn't the first time that he's spoken about this. In this Yahoo article, they said Lionel Richie was on Watch What Happens Live. He said performing Endless Love with Diana Ross again. He said, quote, is one of my bucket list things. If I ever had to go back and say, could I redo something? He said at the time, touring and other obligations had been the cause of their inability to, quote, capture the magic of their only live performance together. He said we could just never get our schedules together. That's one of those things that I miss about my entire career, having us on stage together. She found time for Beyonce, though. I say sometimes we talk about dating. I say interested men act interested, but really it applies to everybody. Interested people act interested. You've been asking somebody to do something for 37 years and they ain't do it, they not interested. Let it go, bruh. Let it go. It's the second time you mentioned it publicly. You say it with a giggle. You feel a way about it. And that's fine. But just let it go. It's not going to happen. Maybe if you and Diana had like a heart-to-heart conversation, like, hey, did I do something to offend you? Like, is there an issue? Like, you just don't want to sing the song? Like, could you let me know? Maybe she will. But you just asking her to sing the song, she's not going to sing the song with you, bruh. It's not going to happen. Not going to happen. So much bullshit to discuss this week. Okay, before we get into Steve Harvey, because we're not ending on Steve. We're going to end on the Michigan coach, because that story's crazy. We previously spoke about Spain's soccer president, Luis Rubiales, and how he kissed one of the players, unwanted, during their celebration after the women won the World Cup. This has been going on, I want to say, for like a month now. His job backed him. FIFA, the head of like all the soccer everywhere, suspended him. The coach of the team got fired. And people were like, well, wait, how'd a coach get fired? He didn't kiss anybody. But the man who did the kissing, the unwanted kissing, he's suspended. But the coach got fired? The coach got fired. The coach has been in hot water for a while. There were some issues that the players had dating back to last September, or at least they made their grievances known last September. There were issues related to travel. There was issues related to overall treatment of the players. Some players refused to play for the coach. But the coach of the women who were outraged by the kiss, the whole soccer team was outraged by the kiss. The player who was kissed, Jennifer Hermoso, said the kiss was unwanted. Her team backed her. The coach initially backed the president who was the kisser. And then after he got flack about it, he came around. But his team, the players, were already over him. So even though he wasn't the kisser, he got fired as collateral damage. There's also some more with the coach. I'm reading this on CNN now. Controversy with the coach intensified following the World Cup. Footage from the match appeared to show him inappropriately touching a female staff member while celebrating Spain's goal against England. Oh dear. They got problems. Or they had problems. The coach has been replaced with a woman. I think I read that she's the first female coach for Spain. Yeah, CNN confirmed. She's the first woman in charge of the women's national team. Montse Tomé? Montse? The actual kisser, people have been trying to get him fired. But again, the Spanish Soccer Federation was backing him. He finally just resigned. He said, quote, to insist on waiting around and holding on to that won't contribute anything positive, neither to the Federation nor to Spanish football, among other things, because the powers that be will prevent my return. Which, yeah. Once FIFA got involved and suspended him, he was pretty much done. They were just figuring out a way to get rid of him, which he deserved to go. You can't run around kissing people that don't want to be kissed. He did it when he got called out about it. He lied about it. He was like, oh, we had a whole conversation. It was consensual. It was mutual. It was a moment of joy, of celebration, something along those lines. And the player was like, no. He said the player tried to pick him up and then he kissed her. Like it was just everyone got caught in the moment. And she was like, what? I never tried to pick you up. And we definitely didn't have a conversation about whether you could kiss me. You just grabbed me and kissed me. Sir, that's assault. That's assault. If he had taken accountability when called out and been like, hey, I was doing the most. Like I got caught up in a moment and I realized that she didn't feel the way that I felt. I feel ashamed. I feel terrible. Like this is a horrible thing that I've done. And I'm so sorry for like the way that I behaved. I just wasn't conscious of it. I could maybe give him some grace there, but he lied about it, doubled down about it, went to the press conference and was like, I will not resign. I will not resign. Like literally said it 4 times like it was a chant. Sir, it's not 1980 anymore. It's not 1990 anymore. You can't act like that without repercussion. So he has resigned. He's still claiming he did nothing wrong. This is what he said on the way out. He said, quote, I have faith in the truth and I will do everything when it's in my hands so that it prevails. My daughters, my family, and the people that love me have suffered the effects of an excessive persecution, as well as many falsehoods. But it's also true that in the street, every day more, the truth is being imposed. Is it me or it seems like every man that gets caught up in some assault shit always got like daughters, sisters, and a wife? It's all the more reason you should fucking know better. Doing some crazy shit and then be like, my daughters, my wife, my sisters, my aunts, my mother. All the more reason, sir, you should fucking know better. And somehow they never do. I've never said this and I need to say this now. Congratulations to the women's soccer team of Spain on winning the World Cup. Their entire win has been scarred, overshadowed by this incident. I'm reading this on CNN.com. It says, hours after Rubiales resigned, Hermoso appeared in Mexico as the team she plays for honored her. CNN describes, quote, she was greeted by the crowd with a rousing ovation ahead of the game, with a huge mural of her hanging in the stadium. Hermoso then put the World Cup medal around her neck and waved to the crowd. Lord, we got to talk about Shirley Strawberry, age 69, and her husband. Estranged husband. She's currently in the process of divorcing him. He's currently incarcerated. I think he's 59. And then Steve Harvey. I know he'd be like, how I got in it. Contrary to popular belief, Steve Harvey did not introduce Shirley Strawberry to her husband. He did walk her down the aisle at her wedding, but he is not responsible for introducing them, as many people have said previously. She clarified that in a conversation with Steve on their radio show. I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me back up real quick. Maybe like a week or so ago, a friend reached out to me and said, "You heard about Shirley Strawberry?" I think I mentioned on a previous episode, I don't think I realized he was incarcerated at the time, that the judge had banned him from having contact with children and animals. And I said, well, children and animals? I said, what he been into that he can't have contact with children and animals? And this is a close friend. It's just not somebody I talk to on a regular basis. So whenever he reaches out, especially when he sends me information, I feel like it's something I should pay attention to. So he sent me the audio files of Shirley Strawberry's conversations with her husband on the jail phone. Her husband, her estranged husband, he's serving 23 months. Some places refer to it as a gun charge. Other places list a series of charges. Those charges include gun possession, theft, fraud, and child pornography. Shirley, who I read, she's been married to this man for about 8 years. She had been calling him. I'm confused. There's certain things that if you go to jail for, I could ride with you. If you, my husband, go out into the world and you see someone who is weaker than you being assaulted, harassed, harmed, and you intervene on their behalf and you somehow end up in jail because of that, I could stick beside you. If you out here on some Tamika Mallory, Tamika has been in jail. I don't know what the current count is, but I think she said once she's been locked up 20-something times. Tamika be out here protesting on behalf of people's black ass rights. If you was out here protesting on some Black Lives Matter, you trying to get black people some human rights, some civil rights, some black rights, I could ride with you. I could call you in jail. I could put money on your commissary. I could come visit you. I could write you letters. We could do all that. I'm going to wait for you because I know I got a good man who is out here trying to save the world. Your ass went to jail on fraud? Rewind for a few years. You remember the story of the woman who hit the lotto? I want to say it was like North Carolina. It was somewhere in the South. She had a drug dealer boyfriend who got locked up and she bailed him out of jail. She gave him a lot of money for a business. She bought him a car. She was tricking on him. She had 2 or 3 kids when they met. So he was financing her and the kids. And then she hit the lotto and then she was the one with all the money. I'm like, all right, that's a quid pro quo. I was down, you was up, you took care of me. You down, I'm up, I take care of you. Understand that. It's trap queen shit. That makes sense to me. Shirley Strawberry got a legit job. Shirley Strawberry been making money before this man came into her life. She been on the Steve Harvey show doing the Strawberry Letter since about, 2000? From what I read. She married this man about 8 years ago. So she was on when she met old boy, Ernesto Williams. Apparently he had a series of barbershops. Now barber money is good money, especially if you own the shop. Apparently, in addition to doing his barber money, he was scamming. Because when the feds caught up with him and found shit in his name, they took all his shit. From what I've read, they at least took the truck. And they also they took Shirley's ring, her wedding ring. Shirley said the ring cost 200,000 American USD dollars in dineros. I said, I need to see a picture of the ring. How many carats is 200,000 American USD dollars in dineros? What does a $200,000 ring look like? And we know this because she's talking to the man, her husband, estranged husband. I just read you what some of the charges were. I'm going to repeat them. Gun possession, theft, fraud, and child pornography. Now, to me, if you get charged with this shit, especially if you found guilty and end up in the pokey, I can't stick beside you. Maybe I'm a disloyal chick. Maybe I don't have ride or die in me, and maybe that's what's required of a wife. I can't stick beside you on child pornography charges. I can't. You do some shit that involves children, I may love you, but I have to leave you. If your fraud involves fucking up my money, I can't stick beside you on that shit. I can't. I'm not built like that. This man is in jail. Miss Shirley knows why he locked up. She knows about the fraud because she got her shit repossessed. She talked about that on the phone calls. She knows about the gun possession. She knows about the child pornography. For whatever reason, she's still on the phone with this man. Child pornography charges? I'm just filing for divorce. I'm not calling you. She doing these phone calls with this man in jail. I don't know why she's speaking to the man, but for whatever reason that she is, she's speaking free. She talking about her boss, Steve. She talking about Marjorie don't like people in her house. It's her house. She don't have to like people in it. She says Steve is very gracious. He loves to host. He loves to have people over. He loves to have the staff over. She said Marjorie be looking at people like to help. She said Steve's scared of Marjorie. Maybe he is. Maybe he isn't. She talked about Steve and Marjorie's big ass house. She said Marjorie got a whole spa in the house. She said it's a dream. I said it sounds like it. The audio came out. Shirley wasn't expecting that. She said she understood it was being recorded because, it's a jail call. I said, ma'am, I need you to take a look at your life. I need you to go watch Black Panther. I said it's about Megan Good dating Jonathan Majors. I said you need to go to the scene when T'Challa is about to fight for the first time. And Angela Bassett, his mama in the movie, she yells at him. She said, remember who you are. She either says who you are or whose you are. Either way, it applies. Shirley Strawberry, ma'am, everybody in Black America knows your name. You've been on the radio for 20 some odd years. You go out in public, all the Black people know your face and your name. You earning good wage. You a household name. You dealing with a derelict nigga. Now, you might not have known he was a derelict nigga when you married him, but once you found out that he was, maybe you were blinded going in, you didn't see all the signs, but once you got in the shit, once y'all were living in the same house, you had to see he was dealing with a nigga. At the point that he got arrested and was in jail, why didn't you file for divorce immediately, expediently, with haste, expeditiously? I don't understand, ma'am. I don't understand. This husband, he got a wife with money who is sticking beside you while you were locked up for 2 years for charges that include, let me read the charges again, gun possession, theft, fraud, and child pornography. You got a wife that's sticking with you through child pornography and is putting money on your commissary, who is still calling you. Her version of events, when she talked to Steve, she said, I was just making conversation. I was just trying to get his mind off his situation and where he was. This man still got the nerve to have a mistress, a whole mistress, while you locked up in jail. He can't spend nothing on you. He can't take you nowhere. He can't fuck you. All he could do is sit on the phone and talk to you. And he was talking that shit. Remember every picture the woman ever sent him. Oh, I like the one with your glasses. I like the one when you was laying on the bed. I like the one when you had the thick braids. Oh, I missed a good pussy. Look, ain't nobody gonna talk to you better than a man in jail. All he got is his mouthpiece. I'm like, this man can't do a goddamn thing for you. He calling you collect, running up your my bail bill. Ma'am. Talking about when you get horny, go ahead and pat your pussy for him. Ma'am. I don't really fully understand Shirley's situation because she got the money in it, but they've been married 8 years. She might figure, okay, I divorced this man. Maybe I have to give him some money. I took vows with him. Maybe this is better or for worse. Maybe she's trying to figure that out. She at least has like legal entanglements with this man. You just a mistress, sis. What you sitting on the phone with this man for, running up your phone bill? Why? And he got child pornography charges on top of that. And he's still getting compensation from these women? How? I will starfish sleep forever until I'm on the phone with a nigga in jail talking about pat your pussy until I get out. I really believe the mistress conversations is why Shirley leaving. Because she was talking to him just fine until the tapes with the mistress came out and now she's talking about divorce. Man, you should have been left this man. Steve don't fuck around about Marjorie. There were some rumors. We spoke about them on an earlier episode. There's no need to rehash them. It's about 2 weeks ago. People were saying some unfavorable things about Marjorie. They've said unfavorable things about Marjorie their entire marriage. Steve put some bass in his voice. He said, I'm tired of y'all talking about my girl. He said it's been 17 years. I'm tired of y'all talking about my girl. He laid out a timeline. He said, look, I met this woman. I ain't have shit, just so we clear. He said the show he was on got canceled. He ain't have nothing going on. He met up with Marjorie. He wanted to be with her. She wanted to get married. He said, hey, I ain't got nothing right now. I got to get my shit together. She said, I will help you get your shit together. His version, he said they got together. He said that's when the book took off. He said that's when his talk show took off. That's when all the money that he's made now, he said he made that money with Marjorie. He said they got together, they had a little money. He said he got hit with a $22 million tax bill. He said Marjorie stuck by him through that shit. He said, so people being like, oh, she's a gold digger, she's in it for the money. He said, can't be, because I ain't have nothing. Oh. He said she's a good woman, she's a God-fearing woman. He said his wife, Marjorie Harvey, he said that she's the best thing that ever happened to him. She's the best woman that he's ever known. Steve don't usually address this stuff because Lord knows people been talking shit about his wife the whole time. I saw what Steve had to say. It was all up and down my Facebook feed. Some people were like, well, yeah, Steve talking his shit. He defending his woman as he should. I respect it. Some folks mentioned, like, remember when Barry had to do this for Michelle? When people was talking their shit about Michelle, Barry had to put some bass in his voice and was like, this is my wife. Stop fucking with me right now. Stop fucking with my wife. Some other people were like, well, yeah, but remember, because Steve's previous wife said blah, blah, blah. Steve said he and his wife were estranged when Marjorie came back into his life, and when they got together, his marriage to his second wife was finished. That's Steve's version of events. I do know it's been at least 15 some odd years. At some point, you just got to move the fuck on. They married. According to Steve, they staying married. They ain't got no problems. Everything's good over there. He just needs y'all to keep his wife's name out your mouth. I don't even know if we could talk about this Michigan State shit. I'll try to give a quick summary of the situation. It is so much. I'm going to have to do a part 2 of this. There's no way I could fit this in one episode because really I could do a whole episode about it. Mel Tucker, he's the football coach at Michigan State. Michigan State's football team is kind of a big deal. Mel accepted a contract. I read that it was the biggest in college football history. I believe it's 95 million American USD dollars in dinero. It's a lot of fucking money for football. That's a lot of fucking money to do anything. 95 million American USD dollars in dineros. Let's also just put on the table now, Mel is a married man. From what I read, he and Mrs. Tucker, I'm specifically not giving her first name because she ain't do this shit. Her name don't need to be tied up in the scandal. But he and Mrs. Tucker have been married since circa 2000. They have 2 children together, 2 boys. He met his wife while she was in law school. She is a practicing attorney. All this information is relevant when we talk about this dumb shit that Mel did. So Mel is a football coach. He's trying to keep his squad together. There's an activist by the name of Brenda Tracy. Her story is that she was a mother of 2. She's 24, I believe, when she says that she was assaulted by 4 football players in a gang rape. She's been actively speaking out about her experience. She started a foundation as she tours the country, speaking to different organizations, including colleges, about her experience. She asked players for sports teams to take a pledge to be mindful of their interactions with women. And she asked them to be their brother's keeper in the sense that if they see something going on, don't just see it, say something, interrupt something. Basically, don't be out here raping women, watching gang rapes, or just single person rape. Could you not rape people? Could you act like a civilized human? This is what she does with her organization. So Brenda was introduced to Mel at an event. She shared her story. Mel asked her to come speak to his team. The 2 of them get to know each other. They realize they have a shared love of Jordans. They quote and unquote hit it off. Over the next few months, they have a series of phone conversations via Brenda's cell phone records. They would speak every 2 weeks for about half an hour. During one of their half-hour conversations, Mel decides to masturbate on the phone. Mel is a well-paid black man. Brenda is a single woman. She has 2 children. She a thick white girl. Brenda says that their conversation was friendly, but they were just friends. Brenda says that when Mel began masturbating on the phone, it was non-consensual. She says it wasn't phone sex. It wasn't welcome. They didn't have that kind of relationship. She was disgusted. She was horrified. She said that she was frozen When she realized what was going on, that's the only reason she didn't hang up. Because I was like, girl, why don't you just hang up the goddamn phone? Like, it's real easy to end this. This incident happens. 8 months later, Brenda reports it to Michigan State. People are like, why she wait so long? Because she did. To me, either it happened or it didn't happen. However long you wait to tell doesn't negate it happening, doesn't negate your outrage over it. But also, from personal experience, you can literally say something the next day and people just come up with another excuse not to believe you. Mel Tucker has an entirely different version of events. He says that they had a personal relationship, that they shared hopes and dreams, ambitions, downfalls. They shared life with each other. He says it was mutually agreed upon for them to have phone sex, which is why he began masturbating while he was on the phone with her. He says the only motivation for Brenda doing this shit is because she has a vendetta against Michigan. They've had a terrible run with sexual assault and sexual harassment charges. And also, she's trying to run his pockets because he's got this $95 million contract. USA Today did this long ass story. USA Today notes that when Michigan was doing its investigation into this story, that Mel Tucker had originally not been willing to speak to the outside counsel that the university had hired. During this time when they refused to speak, Mel Tucker and his lawyer reached out to Brenda at least twice, trying to do a settlement to make this whole thing go away, and Brenda has refused. Also, currently Brenda has hired a lawyer. Brenda and her legal team have not initiated a civil suit. Also, I want to point out, he has millions in the bank, and all that she got from personal gifts from him was $2,500 to her foundation, a $200 pair of Jordans, and $200 to her Venmo account. The idea that this woman is trying to run you for your money and all that you've given her is $2,900 when you're worth millions, sir. The idea that she's trying to get money from him isn't substantiated in any way. Here's my take. I think they did have some sort of blurred lines, personal relationship. I think Mel Tucker was in a position where he could offer Brenda a lot of money. When she spoke at the University of Michigan the first time, she was paid $10,000 for probably an hour and a half, 2 hours of her time, at least to speak. They have an agreement that he's going to bring her in 2 more times. She's going to speak to the players again, and she's also going to be honored for something else. I've seen people say that, like, oh, clearly they were having like an emotional affair. If you told me they talked on the phone 30 minutes, 2 to 3 times a week, I would say, okay, sure. 30 minutes every 2 weeks is professional relationship maintenance. I'm having an emotional affair with you, but I only talk to you every 2 weeks? Nah. I believe that he saw this thick white chick who was willing to sit on the phone with him once every 2 weeks. And he got caught up in the idea of like this woman who's much younger is interested in me. And she may have flirted with him just a little bit to make sure that she still got invited back to the speaking engagement. I think she took advantage of his, to be honest, desperation. I think he took it to a next level when he masturbated on the phone and the woman freaked out and was like, what the fuck? Because she wasn't expecting that. And that's how we end up with this situation here. Look, your current contract with Michigan is worth 95 million American USD dollars in dineros. You're also married for more than 20 years. By his version of events, he and his wife are estranged. This story blasted across America. She about to leave you, sir. You understand that, right? And when she leaves, she's leaving with half of whatever you got left after Michigan fires you. He currently still has his $95 million contract. He's suspended. There's not trial, that's not the right word, hearing in early October in which he gets to present his side and she gets to present her side. He knows it's not looking good. He published a statement earlier today, 2 pages. It didn't even look like Courier New. It looked like Times New Roman. He used every inch of space that he had to plead his case. He said they did this investigation. They didn't ask the right questions. He said that he knows what it looks like and that it's not in his favor, but he was like, they're not giving me an opportunity to amply defend myself. He insisted like this was a consensual relationship. Like he tried to defend himself the best that he could. It really just didn't come across well. Bruh, if this hearing happens in October, black man, you about to lose your job. I believe you masturbated on the phone against this woman's will. It was not consensual. What I don't understand is how he got a $95 million contract and can't find no money to cut the fucking check to get this situation to go away. Everybody got a price. Sir, you can't find no number that this woman will accept. Whatever you offered her, it wasn't enough. You offered her 5, offer her 10. Make this shit go away. What are you doing? You did the shit. You harmed the woman. Everybody's got a price. Find hers. If you want to keep your job. You want to have your pride. You want to keep putting out these statements. We talked about the president of the women's soccer in Spain. He did some fucked up things. He refused to apologize. He refused to bite the bullet. He refused to take accountability. Isn't that men's favorite word right now? Now his ass ain't got no job. You about to be just like him. You got a $95 million contract. Ain't no reason you should be having these kind of problems. There's no reason that this story should have made it to USA Today. A check should have been cut. Now it's public. Cut a fucking check. Trying to help the black man. Cut the check. Cut the check. All right. That's our episode. Hopefully we will hear nothing more of this story. A check will be cut. Hopefully we'll hear nothing more about Marjorie and Steve. Back on Friday. I'm sure there'll be more. There's always more. Always. Bye.